Good morning, Tiff. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I got to show you the coolest gift I got in the mail. You ready
I
for
love
this?
it. I'm ready.
Okay, so this is it. Check
No
it out.
way.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so my aunt sent me this Easter card with this like quote unquote butterfly in it. Obviously, it's not a real butterfly, but these are from butterflyers.com. And I'm not selling them or anything, but I just thought it was so cool. So this is what it looks like. Can you see that it has a little rubber band in the middle?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you wind
and
it
then you
up.
spin it. Yeah, you wind it like 35 times. And once you wind it, it spins. And that's how it flies. So you wind it up really tight and then you put it inside of your card. Once you get it like 35 different times, then you let it go and it flies.
That's so cool. Did it scare you at all when it came out of the card?
It probably would have had I not known it was coming. So my mom had gotten one and I was like, what? I didn't get one. Well, it's just because it takes a little longer for me to get the mail here in Wisconsin from Minnesota, and I just hadn't seen it yet. So I just thought it was the coolest idea, and it was a way to send like a little fun gift for spring.
I think that's super cool. That is really, that's really special.
I thought so too. It was pretty neat. I didn't even tell my aunt I was going to share that, so I'll have to let her know. But it's interesting because this time of year when we think about spring and butterflies and all that, we also have to think about spring cleaning and how little people like that.
Yeah. There's a lot of spring cleaning projects I think are just kind of gross.
Okay, well, the one that people like the least, do you want to guess which one on your house
Let's see.
people like doing the least?
Outside or inside?
I guess it's a little of both.
Okay. I'm going to say cleaning under beds, like dust bunnies under the beds.
No, it's washing windows.
Oh,
People
yeah.
hate the most
Yes.
washing windows.
Of course.
The second is dusting blinds and dusting shelves. And I think any place, like you mentioned, when you're getting a lot of dust, it like grosses you out. Like that's in my home. So dust bunnies under bed would probably rank up there as well.
Yeah, and dusting is my least favorite household chore of all.
It's so funny. See, and I love dusting because I feel like it's instant, satisfaction and gratification because you automatically see the change that you made by dusting.
No, I agree. That's true with vacuuming, not dusting. But that's interesting. So there's a great article in Real Simple. It's Get It Done, little projects that feel like major life accomplishments, which I love that idea. But one in here talks about going through stuff and organizing, and it's written by Marie Kondo, who I know that you've read a lot of her stuff and practiced some. But this is about corralling your book collection. And I realized I have way too many books and I need to get rid of them. But it's how do you do that? Because we have like sort of a sense of security and like they remind us of different times in our life. And some of them we like to reread. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I write and highlight in my books. So I often go back and look at the notes or use quotes or things like that.
Yeah. And what she says, of course, is asking yourself, does it bring you joy? But there are a couple other questions that are good for books. One of them is, when did you buy it? Because it might have sentimental value to you. How many times have you read it? And do you think you're going to reread it? And then the last question is, would you still buy it now if you went to the bookstore? It says if it speaks to you with joy, then the correct choice is to keep as many as you want with confidence. But there's probably a lot of them you could get rid of.
It's true. And I do know a lot of friends who gift them and say, I think you'd like this book. And when you're done with it, pass it on to someone else. So then you feel like you're doing something good with it.
Yeah.
But I have totally done it where I've gotten rid of a book and I regretted it later. So I have such a hard time with that.
Yes. Yeah, it's tough. Cookbooks are another one that I think people hold on to way more than they actually need because so many people look up recipes now on their phone. So an idea about as you shuffle through the books and you're getting rid of things. But you're right. A lot of times you can have pleasure in knowing that someone else is going to have a chance to read it.
I have a good friend too that actually, this is a great tip. She bought a journal, like a big enough journal that you can write in, and she actually takes the quotes or the ideas or the message from each book she reads and writes them in under the book title and author and has like pages for each book. That way she can get rid of the book, but she keeps the messages she wants to keep in her life.
That's smart. I like that idea.
Yeah, you just have to be diligent about doing it. It's a little hard to do. So I've tried it and I have not succeeded yet. So while it's a great idea, I can't say that it's worked for me.
Yeah, it sounds a little like homework.
Yeah, it's true. Here's something that does work for me, though, and it's gardening. And I think it's because I grew up, my mom is a gardener. She has anything she touches is like grows like a weed, like Jack and the
Aw.
Beanstalk. I mean, she's amazing. It's true. And but gardening in general, we've heard so much about dirt and soil and how good it is for us. And I thought this was unique, is they say you can actually increase your brain power by gardening. And why? It's because there's those certain types of bacteria in the soil. When we breathe them in or they seep in through our skin, it makes us calmer and it makes us better thinkers, because we've heard how it helps with anxiety, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Well,
And
it also is known to stimulate the growth of brain neurons. So it actually stimulates the growth of the neurons inside your brain, and it then increases your serotonin as well, which is why it reduces your anxiety.
interesting. Yeah. And a lot of probiotics or prebiotics, one of them, are now made with based in dirt as a way of like
Interesting.
gut health. Yeah. And gut health, they
Well-
say, it relates to mental health, anxiety, depression, things like that. So it's just funny how everything's sort of interconnected.
Yeah, and they say that a lot, so many of our vegetables weren't so clean because we harvested them ourselves and they had dirt, so we ingested some of that really good, dirt. Now, I'm not recommending that because I think our soil is completely different, but I think back in the day, that's why we had so much of it and our hands were in the soil more. So it's something that's good for us. Get some good soil and do some gardening.
There you go. Gardening is awesome, I think, for everything.
They call it
Mental health too.
grounding.
Yes, very grounding.